Good evening and welcome to Midnight Movie Club. In tonight's video we are touching on something long forgotten now, the disastrous Dark Universe. As you are all probably aware, Universal were aiming to create their own cinematic universe which would include all of their classic monsters such as the Wolfman, Dracula, the Mummy, the creature from the Black Lagoon, Frankenstein and the Bride of Frankenstein, and even the Invisible Man. And today we have an update on the planned Invisible Man installment and what the future, if there even is one for that matter, could look like for the Dark Universe. So we have learned from a report coming out of Variety that Universal Pictures is rethinking and re-strategizing the Dark Universe by giving it over to Blumhouse, who are well known for their budget-friendly horror hits. So this could well be the first of a few Universal monsters to get their story told under the influence of Blumhouse. It has also been confirmed that The Invisible Man will be directed by someone who definitely knows horror, Leigh Whannell. If you're not familiar with Whannell, he was co-creator on both the Saw and Insidious franchises and directed last year's Upgrade, which actually made it onto my top 10 films of 2018 list. If you haven't seen Upgrade, I highly recommend it. Apparently The Invisible Man will be the first part of this fresh new strategy for the Universal monster properties, as they want to bring in creative directors with distinctive visions to the classic characters. Personally, I am happy with what we are hearing. I would love genre directors to be given the responsibility and freedom to bring these classic monsters to life once again on the big screen. Just take someone like James Wan for instance, started off as genre director and was picked up to do Furious 7 and done a great job with it, then went on to the DCEU and brung us Aquaman, which is easily the best film in that universe in my opinion. So if Universal are looking to do the same with the classic monsters, at this time in association with Blumhouse, I think it's a great move. Universal's president of production, Peter Kramer, had this to say: "Throughout cinematic history, Universal's classic monsters have been reinvented through the prism of each new filmmaker who brought these characters to life. We're excited to take a more individualised approach for their return to the screen, shepherded by creators who have stories they are passionate to tell with them." To me, that sounds like the right mindset and the way they should have went in the first place. I believe with the right directors and writers being brought on board who know horror and respect the characters, I'm sure they'll make some half decent movies out of it, or at least it's got to be better than The Mummy. So let me know what you all think of this in the comments. Are you happy that Universal Monsters are making their return this time in a more solo film approach, kind of like the way DC is going with their universe now, or are you still skeptical after the way the Dark Universe failed? I have a feeling they might set all of these films within the same universe still, but they just won't connect them as much as they initially planned. Maybe if a few solo films are successful first with a couple minor Easter eggs in them, that's when you can get to having them eventually merge. For me personally, if they really wanted to kick off a Universal Monster universe, I reckon they should start with Van Helsing and have him hunt some mythical creatures while you name drop a few of the big monsters throughout it and just touch on them very slightly. Then give them their own films and after that have it all come together somehow. I'd also love for them to be set in the past instead of modern day. I think having them set back in the 1800s or even in the late 1940s or 50s would be far better. I just think doing them in modern day doesn't feel quite right, but that's just me. Back when the Dark Universe was a thing, it was confirmed that Johnny Depp would be playing the Invisible Man, but we also learned that he is not part of it anymore, but he might take part in other films within this universe if it stays a universe. But that's all the news on it for now. Let me know in the comments, do you like what you are hearing or could you not give a toss? If you enjoyed this video, drop it a like, and if you want more content from myself, then just subscribe to join the club. As always, thank you very much for watching and good night.